Hello everyone. I'm Candy. I'm here again. And how are you? Is everyone fine? Yeah. Um, I hope everybody is um, are all fine at home and safe during this pandemic. So here we are again for our class. Okay. And before our topic for today is about daily routines. Okay, so we have to talk about our everyday work. But before going this with our topic for today, last time we had talked about where do you work. So talking about some jobs. Just for a short review, we had talked about last time. Yeah, where do you work? So maybe some of you are are following very well in our class. But I will have just a short review here for our last topic last time. So for here. Just continue. So just here I have this short review last time. So here David is a professor. So he works in a university. Okay. And Junko is a store clerk. She works in a store. And Kate is a dentist. He works in a clinic. And Richard is a pilot. He works for an airline. And Sue is an accountant. She works in an office. So just emphasize. So here, so a professor, where does a professor work? A professor works in a university. Okay, so some thing. Okay, work, you have to put you have to add s to the verb. Okay, so a professor works in a university. So usually a vowel a is like here a vowel university. You might question because if a vowel preceding with a vowel, you have to say an. For example, here an accountant. Here an accountant. Where does an accountant work? An accountant works in an office. So in an office. So here this is a vowel, so you use an. And here professor works in a university. Okay, see we are not using an. We cannot use an university because the U sounds the first it sounds Y, sounds consonant. So works in a university. And where does a store clerk work? So a store clerk works in a store. Okay. A store clerk works in a store. And where does a dentist work? A dentist works in a clinic. Okay. And here, how about a pilot? Where does a pilot works? A pilot works in an airline. for an airline. So you might ask, here in a clinic, a store clerk works in a store. And an accountant work in an office. So an office in a store, in a clinic. So these are some also here in a university. These are some places, 장소. So 어디서 일해요? Okay, 여기서 어떤 장소. 그래서 you have to use in a. Okay, in place where they go. But here you might ask why this is a pilot work for an airline. Airline is not a place. 장소 아니기 때문에 그래서 you have to use for. Okay, airline 뭐야? 항공사. So it works in an airline. This is not a place. Okay, so that is just a short review for the last time, and today we are going to take up about daily routines. You may open your book on page 6 in our book. I never get up late. Okay, and here you have to, okay, in page 6, I never get up late. So you may see here there are some pictures, and there is picture A, B, C, D. You have to listen to the people talk about their routines, and you have to number from 1, 2, 3, 4, which is you have to listen first.
Lesson 2A. I never get up late. Tune in. Listen to 4 people talk about their routines. Number the pictures 1 to 4. 1.
My friends always do their homework in the evening, but I usually do it in the morning. I get up at 6 o'clock and do my homework. Then at 8 o'clock, I take a shower, have breakfast, and go to school. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I like to get up early.
2.
I'm an accounting student, and I always have classes in the afternoon. I start classes at 2 o'clock, and I finish at 4:30. I'm always really tired at 4:30. So when I finish my classes, I go home.
3.
I don't do very much in the evening. I never go out. I usually stay at home and watch TV. I like to watch sports and movies, but my favorite program is City Hospital. I think it's great.
4.
I sometimes play soccer at lunchtime, but usually I go to the university cafeteria with my friends. The food isn't very good, but I like to talk with my friends and relax.
Okay, so did you hear? So you have to number here, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So which is number 1? So here number 1, my friends always do their homework in the evening. So here, who is working in the evening? So here is number 1 is letter B. Letter B. Okay. And and number 2. So what is number 2? Number 2, I'm an accounting student and I always have classes in the afternoon. I start classes at 2 o'clock and I finish at 4:30. I'm always really tired at 4:30, so when I finish my classes, I go home. So here, what is here? An accounting student. So letter D. So this is number 2, letter D. And what is number 3? Number 3, I don't do very much in the evening. I never go out. I usually stay at home and watch TV. So usually, so this is number 3. Okay, going out at night. So stay at home and watch TV. And the 4th one, I sometimes play soccer at lunchtime, but usually I go to the university cafeteria with my friends. So go to the cafeteria with my friends. So this is letter C. Letter C is number 4. Okay, so here we have here the conversation. We have to practice.
Lesson 2A. Speak up. Listen to the conversation. Then practice with a partner.
What do you do in the evening?
I often study. What about you?
Well, I usually watch TV before dinner.
Do you have dinner with your family?
Yes, always. And then I go to bed.
Okay, so here, this is the conversation with a partner. So A, asking, what do you do in the evening? And B said, I often study. What about you? Well, I usually watch TV before dinner. Do you have dinner with your family? Yes, always. And then I go to bed. Okay, so how about you here? What do you do in the evening? So in the evening, what do you usually do? So here we are going to use here often, usually, and always. But before that, I would like to emphasize you. Okay, so never. So here, never is you are not doing anything. Never. So this 0%. And sometimes, never is solti mutanongo, and sometimes is titero, and about 25% you do, and here often about 50% you are doing that work. 자주, and usually 보통. So you are doing 75% of that work, and 100% always, 항상. So that is. So what do you do in the evening? Here, I often study. Okay. So you have to say some action words. Okay. I often study. What about you? Okay. Well, I usually watch TV before dinner. Okay. Do you have dinner with your family? Yes, always. And then I go to bed. Okay. Here, there are some words below, group of words that you may replace here. 1, 2, 3. You may replace these words. So number 1, here, number 1. What do you do in the evening? So that's the same. Here you can, these words, you may change this in number 1. Okay, so here, what do you do in the evening? I often go out with friends. I often go out with my friends. Okay. What about you? Well, I usually go swimming before dinner. So before having dinner, go swimming. Do you have dinner with your family? Yes, sometimes. And then I call my friends. So after dinner with the family, okay, so call my friends. And here another is you have to use this number 2. Okay. What do you do in the evening? I often go to the movies. Well, what about you? Well, I usually go shopping before dinner. So before having dinner, go shopping. Okay, do you have dinner with your family? Yes, often. And then I play computer games. Okay. And number 3, here we have to replace this one. Okay. What do you do in the evening? I often go to a restaurant. What about you? Well, I usually play soccer before dinner. Do you have dinner with your family? Yes, usually. And then I read. Okay, so what about you? Okay, what in your real situation, in your daily routine, your everyday schedule. So what do you do in the evening? For me, what do I do in the evening? In the evening, I teach in the evening. And I use before dinner. I usually have dinner at about 8:40, sometimes 9 o'clock. Okay. And I have dinner with my son and my daughter. Sometimes, not always. And often sometimes my son cook dinner for me. Sometimes he make fried rice, shrimp fried rice, but I really like just rice. But if he makes for me fried rice, I just eat and I appreciate. And we sometimes we can have dinner together. Okay. So how about you? Could you tell us what do you do in the evening, or what do you do in the morning? What do you do in the afternoon? And what do you do on the weekends? What do you do in Saturday? What do you do on Sundays? So on Sundays, I always go to church. And after the Mass, I go to Chongang Songdang. And after the Mass, Sometimes I go to the coffee shop with my friends. Okay, and often I just go home and prepare dinner with my family. Okay, so this is the grammar help here. Never is never. Here is 0%. 못하는 거, 절대 못하는 거, and sometimes titiro 25% and often 50% usually 보통 and always 항상 even once a week 항상 예를 들어서 항상 교회 간다. Always. I always go to church. I go to Catholic church. Okay, now please turn your page page 7. Here there is another listening topic. Okay, you listen. Read the sentences. Read the sentences, then listen to Brad tell Julie about his new job. Write T for true or F for false. So here, number 1 is Brad always works in the office in the morning. Number 2, he never works on Saturdays. Number 3, he always starts work before 8:30. And number 4, he never has lunch in the office. So you have to listen this first. You write T or F.
Lesson 2A. Listen in. Read the sentences. Then listen to Brad tell Julie about his new job. Write T, true, or F, false.
Hello?
Hi, Brad.
Julie, hi. How are you?
I'm fine. How's your new job?
It's great. I'm really enjoying it.
Tell me about your day.
Well, I always work in the office in the morning, but in the afternoon I usually go out to visit people.
Do you work on weekends?
Yes, I often work on Saturdays.
And when do you start work?
I usually arrive at the office at about 9 o'clock, but sometimes if I'm busy, I start work before 8:30.
What about lunch? Do you have lunch in the office?
No, never, because there isn't a cafeteria. So I usually go out for lunch with some friends. There's a nice restaurant near the office. Anyway, Julie, tell me your news. I hear that you just got a...
Okay, so you have heard about Brad tell Julie about his new job. So Brad is working for his new job. So here Brad always, number 1, Brad always work in the office in the morning. Is it true or false? Okay, so here Brad is he said hello, hi Julie, hi, how are you? Okay, I'm fine. How's your new job? So Brad is having a new job, okay, and Brad said it's great. I'm really enjoying it. So enjoying its job. Tell me about your day. And well, I always work in the office in the morning. So here, always work in the office in the morning. So it's true. Okay, it's true. You write T. And here, and the number 2, he never works on Saturdays. Okay, let's check. Okay, so, well, So, do you work? And Julie is asking, do you work on Saturdays? Saturdays. So, Saturdays with S is 항상 토요일마다 일 해요. Okay, and okay, so I often work on Saturdays. So here, I always work in the office in the morning, and I usually go out to visit in the afternoon. So in the weekdays, okay. So usually go out to visit people in the afternoon. But in Saturdays, asking, do you work in Saturdays? Yes, I often work on Saturdays. So here, never, Nika. So this is false because Brad often works on Saturdays. And number 3, he always starts work before 8:30. Let's check. Okay, and here, and I usually arrive works office at 8. And when do you start work? I usually arrive at the office at about 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock arriving time. But sometimes if I'm busy, I start work before 8:30. So here, always starts work before 8:30, Nika. This is false because he usually arrive at 9 o'clock. This is F. Number 3 is letter F, false. Because he just go to work before 8:30 if he's busy. And number 4, he never has lunch in the office. Is it true or false? Okay, let's see. And Jolie asked, what about lunch? Do you have lunch in the office? And Brad said, no, never. Because there isn't a cafeteria in our office building. So I usually go out for lunch with some friends. So he never has lunch in the office because there is no cafeteria in their office building. So this is all about here, this listening portion. Now it's your turn. It's your turn. There is here in the morning, always. So here, look at the picture. Okay, what do you do? Okay, so here, what do you do in the morning? This picture, with this picture, I always study, okay, in the morning. Okay, here I always study in the morning. And number, what do you here at lunchtime? Do you have here at lunchtime? Do you have lunch at your office at lunchtime? Here at lunchtime, often. Do you have do you meet your friends at lunchtime? Very often. Okay, you have eat lunch with your friends, or do you? Okay, and here in the afternoon, always read books in the afternoon, and before dinner, sometimes go swimming. And after dinner, okay, usually watch TV after dinner. So here, this is talk about Mike's typical day. Okay, this is Mike's typical day. So Mike's always go to his classes in the morning. Go to his classes. How about you? When do you study English? Always? Do you always study English on Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay. Okay. How about your lunch? Do you have lunch with your family, or do you have lunch, or sometimes do you have lunch with your friends? Okay. So this is about this is a typical daily routine of Mike's. Okay, so in the morning, he goes to school and study. Always go to school in the morning. Always study, and lunchtime, he often have lunch with friends at lunchtime. In the evening, he always do his homework. And before dinner, he sometimes goes swimming. And after dinner, he usually watch TV. How about you? Can you make your own your daily routine? What do you do every day? Okay. What do you sometimes or often, usually, or always do every day? So you may use this one: never, sometimes, often, usually, and always, and use in your daily routines you may use. Okay, so looking back at the page 6, so you may use this dialogue. This dialogue, this conversation, you may use this dialogue model. So here, what do you do in the morning? What do you do at lunch time? What do you do in the afternoon? What do you do in the evening? Okay. So here we just use this at evening time. What do you do in the evening? So I often go to the movies. What about you? Well, I usually watch TV before dinner. So most of you are watching TV before dinner, right? Okay, so what's your favorite TV program? And watching TV is a way to relax. It's a relaxing time, in watching movie. And do you have dinner with your family? Do you have breakfast with your family? Do you have lunch with your family, or do you have lunch with your friends? Okay. And yes, you may say yes, always, or usually, or often, or never. Some other our class member never eat out because they wanted to eat at home, because food at home are just is very delicious and healthier than eating outside. But sometimes eating outside is more delicious than eating at home, because sometimes for me, I don't want to cook sometimes at home. I want to bring my children to eat out, but they don't want to go out, so I usually cook at home. I usually cook kimchi jjigae, pork with kimchi stew, or mackerel with kimchi stew. Sometimes I cook seaweed soup, miyokok. I like miyokok. Yesterday, our dinner as miyokok. I like miyokok and some pork, braised pork with oyster sauce. And also I have some grilled mackerel, boneless mackerel. I say thank you to Priscilla for sending me the 1 box of boneless mackerel. Thank you, Priscilla. I really like mackerel. Okay, so as our grammar check, please open your book on page 67. Page 67 on your book. So here, there is a page 67 in your book. Okay, so here, grammar check. Practice this question and answer. Here. What do you do on Friday evening? So, what do you do on Friday evening? I usually go out with my friends. Okay. What does he usually do after breakfast? So, after breakfast, he usually studies. What do they do on weekends? 주말 뭐 하세요? 그들은 뭐 하세요? 주말. They always go shopping. Oh, do you like shopping? Yes, I think so. So, when do you do your homework? 숙제 언제 하세요? I do homework after dinner. And here, when does she finish classes? She usually finishes classes at 4:30. 4시 30분 수업 끊어요. I usually finish my teaching class at about 8:30. So I can go home at 8:40 or 45, sometimes 9 o'clock. Okay. And do you ever go to the movies? Yes, I often go with my sister. Yes, I often go to the movies with my daughter. Okay. Do you work on weekends? No, never. So that is okay. So that is all about for our daily routines and using this word never, sometimes, often, usually, and always. So that is all about for today. Do you have any questions? Yes, if you have, you may comment down. And our next topic for next meeting is about here you need to be. I do karaoke on Wednesdays. So our next topic is continuation with our daily routines, and we will talk about our free time activities. Okay, so I hope you are following very well with our lesson, and you may enjoy, and we will see you next time. Okay, that's all for today, and enjoy your lunch. Okay, and enjoy your meal. See you next time. Bye bye.